really looking forward to seeing what he can bring out this game.
Yeah, very much agree with that. Empyros did have a great performance yesterday on the Rumble. Getting those 2 early kills really snowballed Fnatic in that game. Vi and Varus taken away by Vitality. Vladimir, the final V champion, if they want to make it a full 15.
Or Victor.
Or Victor, actually, yeah.
So many champions.
Any other Vs? Volibear. Volibear, there we go. Talia, Rumble, and Pantheon taken away by Fnatic. Vitality chose second pick. Fnatic chose red. So once again, we'll have one of those drafts where first pick is on the red side. We all get slightly confused. It's Azir banned away by Vitality as their final ban, leaving Orianna, Yunara up. You could also look towards some of those powerful jungle picks that have been making their way through the game. Things like the Wukong, the Jarvan doing great jobs so far.
Yeah, really liked Vladi yesterday. I think he had a standout game, and I think he really performed to what we were expecting him to do, because we still hold Vladi in this really high regard. We think about his winter run from last year. I think he's just a player that's really fun to follow, and now, kind of yesterday, and hopefully today as well, he will keep evolving, finding his footing on this Fnatic roster, because this is a roster that is putting a high emphasis on upsets. Let's be clear. They are sending a lot of resources to upsets. Empyros kind of gets the short end of that stick, but I think Vladi still has a lot of tools to his arsenal that he can use, and I want to see how him and Razork especially develop as a jungle.
Is it really going to be? It's not going to be an early Lulu. I very much agree with that. I think Razork, when he's on the same page as his mid laner, can really shine. With the Orianna Wukong, you have that great, shocking cyclone combination. The hurricane, we can call it. Jarvan locked in for Vitality.
Will it be a Corki again against Yunara? What do you think? Are we getting another Corki Yunara trade?
I think it might be a Kai'Sa.
Kai'Sa is very fun. It was a lot of Fnatic comps last year where they had this moment in summer of last year where they just kept drafting dive with Kai'Sa every single game and won so many games in the regular season because of it. So I really like this dive comp. I think it's kind of fits both Razork and Upset in a really nice way, because Upset can kind of choose his moment to follow that engage, and it just gives Razork so many windows of opportunity where he can just go in and create havoc whenever he wants to.
Yeah, last year, Upset on the Kai'Sa, 77% win rate on it. It's his most played all time as well, sitting around 65% win rate. Ryze is the lock for Vitality to answer that Orianna. So we have AD carries and junglers and mids locked in on either side. Now we'll likely see the support pool pinched a little bit. I wonder if Vitality would want to get rid of some of that follow-up engage, things like the Rakan, if you really want to negate the power of the Cyclone Shockwave and that follow-up. You could also look towards things like the Nautilus if you're a little bit worried about getting caught out for that initial pick.
Yeah, I'm looking how they will enable...
Nako as well makes sense.
Nako makes sense as a good ban there. I'm wondering how they will enable Empyros here, because usually you think Ambessa when you see these drafts, because she has such, also like Kai'Sa, such an easy time to follow up on these volatile engages by the Wukong. So I would kind of think that if you want the Ambessa, you take out the Renekton, which has been Nako's most crucial pick so far in the Winter Split. He's had a lot of success with the Renekton and is a really tough matchup for the Ambessa. So I would like to see a Renekton ban followed up by the Ambessa, but looks like it will be a Lulu ban, and the supports are getting pinched.
They are. They're getting pinched just a little bit. I think the problem for Fnatic is, could you, if Fnatic ban out the Renekton here and your Vitality, could you then look at getting... Oh no, because Vitality has second pick. Oh my goodness. The draft... Because I was saying Vitality could pick the Ambessa first, but you, if you're Fnatic, then you ban Renekton and pick Fnatic. Oh no, you could still do it, yeah. My math was right. Vitality could pick the Ambessa first.
They could take away the Ambessa, but still, you still end up with a counter pick, and Ambessa doesn't really fit exactly what Vitality wants to do as much. Still a really good pick. It will be the Gnar ban being taken out, and now I'm thinking about, instead of banning the Renekton, will Fnatic instead look to take the Renekton away from Nako by blinding it? Seeing as the Gnar is the most common answer into that. We'll probably see like a Renekton Cassante trade, which is kind of boring. But I wonder here, you can take it yourself if you want to. If you really value that Renekton pick highly, and you will also get counter pick on support, but it will just be the Alistar for Fleshy. Lospa had a great Alistar game the other day, and I think it's one of his most impressive champions. I remember some of his crazy engages where he's like flying on the blast cones on the Gemtech map. It's flying across. So you have her is...
I think Lospa kind of falls into that. We talked about it. Like, we can't ban out. You can go Nautilus for the initial pick. Yeah. He does still have some good follow-up with the depth charge. You could also look for something like the Poppy if you wanted to be a bit more of a denier and look to yeet people out of the fight and then deny the engage. But going for that Nautilus does give you a little bit more strength in the lane, especially into the Alistar early game. You can actually harass him relatively well at that level 1. And if the Yunara ever dashes in, immediate depth charge. It's like, okay, you've used your dash, we're going, let's fight. Gives you that follow-up as well for the rest of your team. Cassante locked in for Fnatic means they're just trying to neutralize top. Empyros, definitely not the key focus of Fnatic.
It's a classic, and I want to see what Nako has got in store for us. I'm thinking Renekton, which is kind of boring. I would love a Gwen.
Oh.
I was just about to say it. You just let me say it before you hovered it.
Talk
I would
quicker,
sound so smart. Okay, locks in the Gwen. Really fun interaction with Dusk and Dawn on Gwen. Because we all
not fun for anyone playing against her.
No, not fun.
Very fun for the
really
Gwen.
Fun. Dusk and Dawn is a great item on Gwen. Gwen's Q needs to stack up 4 times, and then you do the Mega Snip. But with Dusk and Dawn, you only need 3 auto attacks, and it gives her every single stat that she wants. So I do reckon we will see a Dusk and Dawn Gwen, and I think this is really fun to follow. I've been looking forward to seeing a Gwen on this stage so far. Really happy Naak is bringing it out, and I want to track this because Gwen into the Cassandra is really volatile. We have seen this matchup go both ways in many times. I remember Oscarinian solo killing Broken Blade like 4 or 5 times one time playing Cassandra versus Gwen. So it's not a Gwen favorite matchup that convincingly, but Gwen does have a lot of tools and does scale up to become an absolute monster on those 1, 2, 3 item spikes.
Yeah, very much agree with you. Gwen can do a huge amount of work. We've seen a bunch in the jungle as well. Was nerfed slightly on 26.2 as the coaches get their fist bumps in the middle of the stage. And we move into our 3rd game of the day. Humanoid playing up against his former team, swapping allegiances over to Vitality. Vladi swapping from KC.
Oh my god, it's Razork versus Humanoid.
It is. It's Razork.
That's insane. We have Razork versus Humanoid after being together for so many years. I wonder who would have won the divorce.
Oh, we'll see. I mean, so far, both teams are 3-2. So it's hard to say exactly who's winning.
Yeah, so this game will decide it.
Yeah. Okay.
Who pays alimony?
This is the alimony game, isn't it? Who is paying child support for their AD carry?
Who's the child?
Humanoid's like, man, come on, I've got Carzzy on my team already. Like, don't make me pay more.
He's in a new marriage and Carzzy.
Early starts for the junglers, both on the top side of the map.
Is it Carzzy's old child then?
Yeah. Man, look. The genealogy of it all, I'm not quite sure about.
There's a lot of fiction being written about this as we speak. Already some heavy trading in the mid lane from Humanoid and Vladi. Ryze conventionally tries to trade his HP pool for push in these control mages and then tries to get an early recall to kind of get through those early stages. Because if he doesn't, he will just get poked down by the likes of Orianna, Azir, because he does have that short range.
Lospa going in looking for the trade, but gets knocked up by Fleshy and takes about half of his health. Has to walk all the way away. None of the risks of Nautilus is when you're in, you're kind of just in. Can't get out of it easily. Is running the Aftershock though for a little bit more tankiness, as is Fleshy. No unsealed spellbook Alistar here. Nako has those 4 stacks. Snip, snip. Empyros has to walk out. Don't want to be in the middle of those snips at all. That's where the extra damage comes out.
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing about something in this matchup is you can always walk up to last hit if you keep your E. Because as long as you have your E, you can kind of dash towards the side of that big snip. You will not take the true damage, and your E shield will pretty much block the entire trade. So the whole thing is, can Gwen get pushed and poke down Cassandra without him like eating that entire trade with his E? So there, Empyros uses E early before the Q came out, and Nako punches that very well with a QE forward and gets a little bit of a haircut on Empyros. There again, you saw his dash to the side, the entire shield, and that's exactly kind of how the matchup goes. It's a little bit of a back and forth. Obviously, it changes with Xander W and Gwen W. There's a lot more complexities to it. And at level 6, it's all about the all-inness. Another all-in happening here on both sides. Lospa goes to quickly trade, but Fleshy is really aggressive.
Yeah, heal on either side. Lospa was actually waiting for the Aftershock to time out after the headbutt pulverize. Did manage to get the hook after it, but in the end, equal trade on either side. Looks like Upset's going to back away. Lyncas was in the vicinity, but has gone back to do his Krugs, and so it looks like Carzzy and Fleshy should just be able to get the wave push in here. One of the benefits of Yunara is the fact that you can always, when you have this cultivation of spirit, your Q stacked up to 8, you always just manage to get the push out.
Yeah, I like to refer to it as a spherical object.
Oh, that's the W,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah, but aren't they the things of
I guess, yeah, it's a bit like Syndra's orbs, right? Yeah. The 8 orbs of pushing.
8 orbs of pushing. So there you see he Ws and then QEs forward. On Gwen, when you W and QE forward, you are arriving just at the tip of the W, so it doesn't reposition. It's really important you don't do the right click then, because then it follows you and then it's really bad. I think a lot of Gwen players have had this happen to them so many times where like they want to trade forward, they click forward, they QE, and then do a little whoop, little step forward, and then suddenly the W slides with you, and I think I can trade back. But and really nice play by them.
Yeah, that's the weakness of it, right? Because by being on the edge of the circle, you are still in your immunity zone and the enemy isn't.
Exactly.
If the W then moves forward forward with you, it moves the enemy inside of the circle.
And sure, you get like 10 armor and MR, but like Gwen is kind of designed around not big damage, which is a silly sentence, but that's how kind of her laning matchups go. So we will keep tracking this Gwen into Kai'Sa, and I think this will really start to get dicey for the Kai'Sa around the Dusk and Dawn power spike for Gwen, because right now, early game, it's going quite fine. The even CS has 2 little mantles in his back.
I'm trying to nullify that magic as Nako building up towards the Dusk and Dawn has gone to Amp Tome and the Ruby Crystal. Needs Sheen, Blasting Wand, the Kendall Gem, and then Dagger for the attack speed to complete out that Dusk and Dawn. It's kind of a little bit of everything on that build.
Backyard sale item.
Yeah, exactly,
like to call it, yeah.
Just a car boot sale. As we do see Carzzy getting a push into upset early on this Yunara, has yet to use his potion. That's one of those matchups that has been tested across the course of history. Neither of these players have been exceptional yet this split, I'd say, as we see a fight happening. Flag and drag in by Lyncas onto Vladi. Razork trying to join, but Humanoid still very healthy.
Really nice.
And now the turn can start onto Razork. Has to try and jump his way away with that decoy. Humanoid with the Rune Prison. Lyncas, he went for the Dragon Flag combo. Didn't actually manage to get the knockup.
The Dragon Flag combo is crazy. Really nice play there by Humanoid. Pretends to go clear the wave, but Vladi is a little bit too close to the wave. Ends up getting that Flux debuff, just allowing Humanoid to flash forward and set up a really nice combo, as we will watch that again in a bit, I assume. But really good first minutes for Vitality.
Yeah. And now you put our observers onto having to make a replay of that by saying you assume that we're going to watch it, you know?
Yeah, because I want to watch it. I thought it was really cool.
It was a really nice play, yeah.
I'm sorry, observers. Please forgive me.
Cole's coming out on the bot side for both these AD carries. No real surprises there. Humanoid going down to traditional, get the tier, then build up the Catalyst into that Rod of Ages. Double Ruby Crystal, though, for the moment, as Carzzy and Fleshy still managing just to control this bot side. Lyncas is going to come in. No vision, really, for the Fnatic bottom lane. Lyncas could look for something here. Puts down the Demacian standard, just gives the attack speed over to Carzzy and Fleshy. And as a Jarvan, it's one of the easiest ways to get yourself an assist. Just chuck that standard somewhere nearby. It looks like Vitality going to use that push to start up the first Drake of the game.
Definitely some KDA inflation happening if you play Jarvan.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Very similar, like if you play Sona.
Yeah.
Like, I think
Jarvan is even more lazy though, because you just have to like do it and not even heal the guy, just be in the vicinity.
True.
And you're golden.
Yeah. You've got to be. They're going.
Monkey takes crab.
Your KDA goes up, up, up. As Jarvan.
It's his moment, yeah.
As he takes the Cloud Drake. Vitality with about 1,000 gold lead. Really good start for them overall. Lyncas with the majority of that, but Humanoid doing a good job in the mid lane, keeping Vladi on a bit of a leash. And we do see Razork using this time to try and steal away this camp from Vitality's jungle. Nako actually gone haunting guys here first, instead of the Dusk and Dawn, trading in with the Needleworks.
Will be a Riftmaker then, which is also a fine choice. I just like Dusk and Dawn because it's new. It's like a new toy to play with, so it's really fun.
It's also pretty strong.
It is strong, but I think Riftmaker is nice into these really tanky champions because you get that true damage, very nice. You get that vamp, very nice, and you get a little bit more HP than Dusk and Dawn, and you will be scrapping against these Kai'Sa, so you really like being a little bit more durable in those fights.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense, right? I think both of us were just really looking forward to seeing the extra on hits from the Dusk and Dawn as Carzzy and Fleshy continue to keep upset in Lospa underneath their tower. Now the Kai'Sa, not the strongest in lane. You're kind of using the Acathian Rain to clear out the minions, which means then you can't use it in trading patterns, whereas Cultivation of Spirit allows you to do both at the same time. Kai'Sa always kind of expected to get pushed in, even with a Nautilus by her side. After the Alistar hits 2, it's a lot harder for you actually to find beneficial trades. So in this early game, you know, relatively expected way that it's playing out early on. Good fight early from Lyncas and Humanoid, but not really too much else happening on the map.
Will be slow down. I'm wondering, I'm waiting for the supports to be a little bit more unlocked and see where Lospa and Fleshy can go on the map. Here you see Fleshy already opening on the top side. Will probably get spotted on the ward.
Yeah, there he is, but he spots it, so you can clear that out. He's pathing his way across towards the grubs. You can see Lospa doing the same. Is actually going to path down towards the bottom side of this lane instead. I think they've realized they don't really want to contest the grubs immediately. Razork wants to get through his camps.
Is Carzzy in danger here? Here, Lospa could loop around together with Razork and look for a play here on Carzzy, knowing that Alistar is so far away.
It's a little risky. He can still manage to sneak his way around. Lyncas is on this side of the map. Carzzy, yeah, wisely just not stepping towards the tri-bush there. Knows that he's giving up any pressure on the lane anyway because his support isn't here, so just doesn't go in towards the try until he knows that he has the support of his support, using that Scryer's Bloom to spot out the fact that Lospa was no longer lying in wait.
Yes, it is of utter importance to not be greedy.
I mean, look, this is a Carzzy and Humanoid team, man. Like,
yes.
we have seen
they will be greedy, yeah.
Often be greedy.
Yeah, nice by Carzzy there not to give over any counterplay, because this will be the grubs for Vitality, which is set up by that earlier rotation by Fleshy. He went up there, got the vision, knows it's an easy take for them. Wonder if they will look for a cross map here. Carzzy is left alone here, but Fleshy is coming to his aid. Yeah,
Fleshy's already here. You did see a move from Vladi and from Razork down towards this, but Razork
Fleshy because he's a cow.
Yes, you did see a move from Fleshy as well. Good one. If people weren't here for game one, they're not going to get that reference, man.
A move? Okay. Carzzy here will try to push this wave out now as you see the recall by Lospa. Maybe you can get a little bit more control in the bot side, because as you see, the Jarvan will probably path down here, and the Drake is spawning in 1 minute 30, so that will probably be the next battlefield where we shall be fighting.
Yeah, Razork looking to see if there's anything to do top, but neither team really forcing any plays. Both teams seem to be willing just to, okay, status quo is fine for us, we're scaling up. Both of them want to get towards those second items, really, for the Kai'Sa, for the Orianna.
It's a lo-fi beats type of game. Yeah. It's very like chill, laid back, we're just kind of farming. And
I mean, after the end of the Lost Returns one, I can understand wanting to chill just a little bit, you know. Make a tea, have a cuppa. Do you drink tea?
I dabble.
Yeah?
I dabble in
like
tea.
Loose leaf, or are you is it a fruity tea sort of angle?
I really like Earl Grey with a pinch of like a splash of milk.
Okay, yeah, nice.
I am a coffee man.
Yeah, so am I. Much more a fan of coffee. I rarely drink tea.
Doesn't make the world go round, that beverage.
Also gives us enough caffeine to get through the evenings.
Yeah.
As an early morning man, sometimes when it gets 11 p.m. on an LEC day, I'm struggling more than perhaps I should be working in esports, but we're all getting old. Finn is Nako. Nice
Not
to make
getting
Empyros
old,
a little bit older.
Snipping very nice here. Empyros does have the teleport, so has the bailout if he shoots to take a base, but that will probably, that really hurts.
Empyros needs to reset, no?
Will probably be a plate at least for Nako, but now if he can mind game, Empyros uses E here, then Empyros is in danger. But as long as he holds that ability, he will be fine.
There's the E out from Empyros. Need to work coming out from Nako as well. Should be able to get another plate. Another needle work. There's the plate. Now needs to get out because Empyros is flashing for him.
Auto, boom!
Mind games won for Empyros.
That was a 6-pick all-in.
Yeah.
really
impressive. TP to the tower, place a ward in the bush.
Empyros tried to find the ult there to kind of like punish the fact that Nako was so far up without any ult, without a Q stack, but didn't manage to get the ult off and just kind of silly.
And while that was happening, Vitality got their second Drake of the game, sacking these up nice and early. Next one will be up around the 60-minute mark. And yeah, if you're Vitality, with that sort of play, with Nako getting fed, you are really, really comfy. Riftmaker complete now on that Gwen. It's going to be really strong when it comes to team fights. Junglers have their first items as well. Sunder Sky into Triforce, Rod of Ages into Balefire Torch in the mid lane, and a Kraken Slayer complete for Carzzy. Not yet there for Upset. I don't know if he's reset recently, but he might just be looking for this wave to crash and then maybe get a plate.
We actually have a little swapper coming out, putting the Yunara into the full MR Cassante here. And I think Nako being so strong should be fine to hold this just with the hover of Fleshy. I'm not sure if the Yunara can actually punish the Cassante, but rushing Kaenic Rukin obviously makes you very vulnerable to physical damage. And putting the Kraken's Yunara into the Cassante I think could be a good choice, especially considering there's no flash. Does have a 2-level lead, so we'll probably not see anything crazy happening here, but having your Gwen bot, kind of putting pressure on Upset there and making sure they have to send people to defend against her is still a good play, I would say.
Yeah, should be able to push forward and get another plate. At the moment, it's Vladi assigned to the bot lane. Empyros being left up towards top. And Vladi's going to try and keep that Gwen at bay. He does have the range advantage, obviously, on this Orianna. Nako just doesn't want to step too far forward. Needs to avoid the command attacks.
Gwen is immune. can't forget it.
Gwen is immune.
Well, what does range do when you're
Yeah,
immune?
but if you're popping the Hallowed Mist to avoid auto attacks, you're in a bit of a tricky situation, my dude.
He's immune. Okay, Empyros has the Q3 stacked up enough that she's here to hover his AD carry, and Empyros already take half of HD here with some trades with Carzzy. But it will be the invade to counter this. Now, obviously, Fleshy shown top side gives Razork a lot of agency in the bot side. Walking in here together with Lospa will try to get his red buff from Lyncas. I think he wants to give it. Nice.
Drag doesn't come out. There's Step Judge as well with the Killer Instinct in. Lyncas using the Cataclysm will flash the wall. Upset flashes to follow and finds the shutdown. Fnatic on the board, 14 minutes in, they claim their first kill of the game, but while this was happening, you can see the move from Humanoid, realizing all of Fnatic are on the bot side. Let's realm walk behind this Cassante.
Uh-oh, tell you what, that's bloody lovely. Empyros being dove here.
Fleshy going in without Unbreakable Will. They have the Rune Prism, but they don't have the damage.
People stuck under this tower. Vladi will just take the away from his top laner, took that cannon. Because he covered him.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of worth. Teleport for a cannon minion.
Yeah.
I think Empyros now likely to run down towards the bottom lane. He's going to be reassigned to deal with that Gwen. Vladi with the Shockwave will pull Carzzy back. There's a Hex Flash in from Lospa looking for the hook, but it lands only onto Fleshy on the Alistar. Fleshy with the trample and the body block will keep Carzzy safe as enough.
Yeah, but now Ryze will actually go and take over this lane and try to get some push here, because you see, instead of pushing this mid wave, he actually rotated up here, and now the Yunara will go mid, so really keeping the tempo nice, because Fleshy can actually stay around there for fight.
In on the chase. Lyncas is across the wall here as well. Flag and drag, but no Cataclysm. Lospa with a Dredge Line 2 terrain. Shorter cooldown on it. Command to protect from Vladi. A hook going onto Lyncas once again. Interrupts, but he's going back in, and the Titan's about to shield. Will be enough to keep him alive for now alongside that command protect. Lyncas misses the Dragon Strike. Fleshy falls as well. Huge for Fnatic as they find a couple on an overextension from Vitality.
That's one big tin can. How did he live that? I feel like he was supposed to be dead so many times there. Even being went on by Razork.
Humanoid does have flash here. Razork doesn't have the Cyclone. There's a flash away. Flash forward hits him with a sub.
And that's the alimony. Secured by Razork. Huge win by Fnatic there. Really nice play by Fnatic, and sick by Lospa to stay alive for that long. I really thought he was dead at so many times there, but I think the Vladi command protect came in really clutch to kind of bait that Jarvan to go in, and suddenly what looked to be a really Vitality-controlled game now looks in the favor of Fnatic. So let's see this once again. Humanoid thinks he caught on Lospa, but with the heal movement speed, he actually gained so much distance that it looks quite hard to kill him. And with this Fog of War, Vladi has now arrived, and he goes right back in there. I thought this was crazy. I think if Lyncas probably holds his combo there, they can probably kill Lospa instead of trying to combo out of it, but South Cross Fallacy means he has to commit for it anyway. And in the end, 3 people of Vitality ends up going down.
Yeah, it's absolutely huge for Fnatic. Turning it very much back into their favor, getting themselves a slight gold lead to 1,000. Next Drake up in 5 seconds time, and Fnatic are working their way through the mid lane to get vision down towards this Dragon Pit. Vladi's just going to start it up immediately. Ults across the board available. Nako doesn't have TP, but he's already at the Razor Beaks. Empyros does have his teleport.
I don't think you're fighting this as Vitality unless you're really relying on the Gwen.
I think you are. Cyclone coming out. Lyncas goes in with the Cataclysm, but now Fleshy's in the midst of Fnatic and doesn't really have a leg to stand on. It's roast beef as Fnatic find another double for upset. Officially passing 2,000 kills in the LEC. Carzzy dashing forward, has to flash. Guys, stop dashing into the guy with a hook! What are you doing?
I like it. I think they should keep going.
No, like, what are they doing?
I like it. So, really interesting bit from Vitality, because they were kind of relying on the push from the Gwen to kind of help them contest that dragon. Yeah. But then Lyncas walked up way before the Gwen was there, and when your main objection of power, that's crazy wording. Really, when your main PowerPoint is the Gwen, walking in before she's there is quite of a silly decision, and does end up just getting went on by the man with the hook, and Carzzy followed his lead later.
Upset passing 2,000 kills in the LEC there. Impressive. Congratulations to him.
Very nice.
We'll have another look at the play. Like, Lyncas is just too far forward. It's the 3rd time we've seen the flag and drag being countered.
Yeah. And he will fool me 4 times. You'll see what happens.
But like, at this point, okay? At this point, Nako's escaping towards the top side. What is Carzzy? No, do not defend Carzzy like this.
Get the Neuros, baby.
The guy had to burn his flash for no reason whatsoever. Empyros caught up with the Rune Prism. Neither one coming out slow as well. Empyros does still have the flash and the All Out, but with the Koenig Rook and Shield and the Merc Treads is able to walk his way out.
Well, that's a Merc's Koenig Kai'Sa.
I mean, the thing is, he is now chunked out, and the tower is Vitality's idea of a prize. Empyros flashing away, TP coming out. It's Vladi to join the fray. Nako and Humanoid getting chased down. There's the shockwave. No killer instinct in from Upset. There he goes, dives in. Looking for Nako, who has to flash away. Humanoid is dead in a side lane. Upset's looking for more with the Cyclone coming out from Razork. Hello, missed. Nako, no mana, no health, and no way out as Razork gets him. Fnatic now 8-1 up.
Vladi defending his brother in arms in the Sacred Band of Thebes. The Greek friends, they managed to hold the line there, and he will not have his top laner repunished by Vitality.
Vitality looking for a death bush, but really can't find a way into these fights. Will be a top lane tier 1 for Fnatic, their second turret of the game. Upset takes this very quickly. Has that Kraken Ginsu's combination and has Razork there to help him out to take it.
Yeah,
and now
Upset is just growing. He's growing and growing and growing. He's 4 kills now. Big bounty, 2k gold up over Carzzy, and this Yunara that seems so unbeatable in our league is now getting completely punished by this Kai'Sa pick, showing why Upset is so comfortable on the Kai'Sa, showing his experience, his tenure, and his skill on this champion.
I mean, these dive comps are something we saw a lot from Fnatic last year. Very different team, like Lospa, Empyros, and Vladi joining the team compared to last year, but it always worked for them when Upset was feeling himself, you know, where he could go in with these killer instincts, where he understood the positioning of the Kai'Sa, and he is so good at this champ. I will draw your attention to a little thing down here. There is a Dusk and Dawn in the game.
Let's go.
Maybe too little too late for Vitality.
Yeah, I mean, Nako is 1.6k gold up, and he is still the point of pressure for Vitality, and they need him in these fights. When Fnatic is diving, you need to make sure they're diving for a Gwen, but there's no Gwen here!
It again, and Carzzy wishing he had a flash. No way out for him. Mid lane tower going over to Fnatic. And they actually pinging towards the Baron here. Empyros does still have that teleport, as does Nako. Without an AD carry, can Vitality contest?
I mean, they don't have Wukong ult, they don't have Orianna ult, they don't have Kai'Sa ult. Fnatic is down in resources here. Sure, there is no Carzzy, but they are not super strong here. I think here there could be an avenue for Fnatic, I mean for Vitality, if they can get the Gwen down here, but it seems like they're just giving this Baron. They just don't want to contest this at all.
Deciding against it. I think Empyros did a good job of marking Nako, meaning that he didn't have an easy TP out of that. The CC obviously interrupting that. Looks like Upset might be going towards a Dusk and Dawn of his own. He's currently fathering Vitality, so him building an item that has the acronym DAD makes a lot of sense to me.
But I thought he was the child in the divorce now.
Now it's
really complicated.
Now he's the dad, you know? Because Dusk and Dawn.
Yeah, I mean, I get it,
okay.
Yeah. Paying alimony?
Man, like, I don't know who's paying alimony. You have some sort of a recession with this alimony thing. I don't know who's paying who.
Right now in the chat.
Are we doing it like a Judge Judy situation? Humanoid stole my dog. I don't know where it is. Anyway, Fnatic with a sizable chunk of change in terms of a lead. Lyncas looking to see perhaps if someone oversteps, chasing down that top lane tower, but he will use the Hex Gates to get out. Upset now clearing out that top wave, and Vitality very much back on their haunches. Just looking to scale up.
Kudos to Fnatic. They really stabilized this game. Vitality overreaching a few times with really great punishes by Fnatic has made them comfortably in this lead. Sure, they only have one dragon, but they have full control of the map. They have side push on Vladi. Empyros is fine. He's holding on. He's getting a second tank item now. And when we get to these 5v5 team fights, I don't see a way Vitality can face check this dive comp of Fnatic.
Here they go. Upset not quite in range for the killing instinct yet. Fleshy going in. Lospa looking for the hope, but can't quite land it. Razork going with that Cyclone as well. TP coming out from Empyros. He tries to join the fight, but Vitality have already found one. Empyros joins in. The knockback coming out as Upset dives in with that killer instinct. A Cataclysm flag and drag out from Lyncas. The slow from Carzzy may be enough to save his jungler. Razork jumps in, but he's met with thin air. As in the end, a 1-for-1 exchange, jungler for support, top lane for support.
We take those. I mean, that's the dragon from Fnatic. They still have the mid lane push. Walking up a little bit, you don't have W, buddy. You gotta be a little bit careful. You are not invulnerable, but you are K'Sante.
Yeah, he does survive for quite a long time here. Upset leaving him to his own devices. All out from Empyros, trying to dash out with that Pathmaker too. Razork can look for the re-engage, but
baits the flash from Humanoid. Great play.
Yeah.
All planned.
We'll take it, gets the flash out. Ito's going to charge in and get some of this crystalline overgrowth. Meanwhile, on the bottom side, Vladi pushing in for that tier 2. isn't going to be able to take it all. We see this often with first Barons these days, is it's more just to get tower damage. Here, Vitality find a really nice flank using the Hex Gate.
Yeah, I mean, they really tried to make, instead of, because they realized they cannot phase shift Fnatic at all, so they gotta make them phase shift them and try to get a pick. Lospa that ends up going down, but they used so much already, and now they're kind of out of juice in this fight. I feel like Fnatic just had everything and was able to punish that attempt really beautifully, because they are just so ahead in gold. It doesn't matter that your Gwen is 1.9k gold up if the rest of the map is bleeding.
Good shockwave from Vladi in that last fight to find the way in for Upset. He needed that CC, otherwise he wasn't going to be able to dive in with his ultimate. Upset should be able to get a couple of plates off this mid lane tower, does exactly that. And now with 3 minutes on the Baron, the buff has expired for Fnatic. It's 4 minutes before the next Drake as well. Maybe things will slow down just a smidge, as neither team really has anything to force fights over, although Vitality have proven they don't really care if they have something to force a fight over, they'll go for it anyway.
Like, Naka's trying to push out here, but look at Upset, he's rotating for this play. It's also a play he's really good at doing. If he's against a split pushing top laner and he's playing Kai'Sa, he's always looking for this. Look at Razork coming from behind there as well.
They need Razork to come across. There's the needlework. Nako, there's the Cyclone into the Killer Instinct. Upset now on the wrong side of the wall. Nako tries to get to safety. Carzzy there, the dive in. Razork almost falling. A great knockback by Empyros, and Razork flashes the right moment. Carzzy going too deep in pursuit of glory means that he and his cow friend fall. Upset claiming a double.
I saw many ways that to play out. I did not expect Nako to live and everyone else to die.
Yeah.
That was not really on my bingo card. Really nice by Fnatic to adapt in the fight after Nako flashes out. They turn appropriately onto Carzzy and Fleshy with a great knockback by Empyros, really solidifying those kills.
Yeah, really nice flash away from Razork as well. He was almost taken out by the Arc of Judgment. And Vladi should be able to take the tier 2 in mid here. Fnatic take the tier 2 on bot as well. Humanoid was pushing through the top lane and got a tower of his own, but still Vitality very much in the hole.
And I like how Nako plays this. He knows his E to get over this wall there to make sure the only one that can commit is Razork. And now he uses all of his skills to vamp up. And here I thought it looked kind of good, but look at this knockback by Empyros. Carzzy does not splash out, he flashes in, of course, baby. You're going in there to try to get a kill, but in the end, nice flash by the other bloke. Remember the name, but yeah, that guy out of flash.
Yep.
English language.
I'm not sure which flash you were talking about, but I agree.
Yeah.
Razork's flash away was good.
That was really nice.
Was that the one we were talking about? Carzzy's flash forward, not too good.
Yeah. Razork's flash. Yeah. Okay.
And now 2 minutes on the Drake. And we're going to be third for Fnatic, but they are continuing to extend this gold lead. There's a Baron up in a minute's time as well, and they have good control over that top side river. Lospa looking to see if anyone from Vitality pokes their head a little bit too far out of their own jungle.
Yeah, and we're once again in a position where now Vitality needs to either phase check this control, which Fnatic is holding beautifully, or they need to make a cross map. But hey, there's no tower to cross map, so what are we going to do? Most likely, we're probably just giving this dragon. Or what we can do is try to push out this lane deep to secure a flanking opportunity for Gwen. And this is maybe something that Vitality can find a lead on, because their Gwen is still really strong. If she gets onto like Orianna or Kai'Sa, she can do a lot of damage. And if you don't let her go from the flank and you instead try to opt for the front versus back fight, it will be really difficult for Vitality to ever contest.
Yeah, I think if it is front to back, Empyros is just too tanky.
Yeah.
He's just going to survive through all of this damage. Has the Jack Show and the Koenig Rooker now building up a little bit of armor. Fnatic realize the Drake, the first objective. They'll clear out vision around it. There is that one ward spotting Upset as he walks towards it. Supercharges it in to get the extra attack speed, starting up the Baron. It is spotted out by Vitality. Fleshy stepping forward onto Lospa, but taking more damage than it's worth. Pops the ultimate. Shockwave has been used. Fleshy down to about a fifth of his HP. Nako trying to find that flank position. Meanwhile, Lospa keeping the rest of Vitality at bay, and Carzzy hooked up, locked up, and taken out. Now Nako and Lyncas turn their attention towards the Baron. Lyncas looking for the smite. A smite came down, I think, on a jungler. Vladi takes it in the end. I'm not sure the smites went where they were meant to.
In the battle of two smites, Vladi comes out on top, somehow secures the Baron for Fnatic, now with a 15-2 kill lead. A 10k goal lead almost, and a lot of pushing lanes will now be marching on the Nexus of Vitality to try to finish this game out.
So I think one smite went on Baron and one went on Lyncas?
Or the clone?
Or the clone or something? We'd have to rewatch it. That was weird. In the end, Fnatic get what they wanted out of the play.
Exactly.
Which is a lot of people dead and a Baron. And now they can push in. Lospa once again looking for those hooks. Has found so many of them in this game. Actually having a really good performance on this Nautilus. He's been involved in 12 of his team's 15 kills.
Yeah, and it's just so hard to walk up when there's an Orianna ball. Actually, we get to see this again. That's so hype. So here, Lospa tries to mark Fleshy and Lyncas, but somehow Lyncas and Nako is the one taking this Baron. Let's see this again.
So it's Lospa lands a hook onto Carzzy in a second. Carzzy oversteps.
Yeah.
Great hook. Killer Instinct comes in as soon as they realize they can kill the AD carry.
Lyncas just jump ship here. It's like, wait, let's just do the Baron.
Okay, here we go. Here we go.
Nice handshake. Okay.
So yeah, Razork smites Lyncas.
Yeah, and Lyncas
smites the Baron, but too early.
Yes, exactly. That's what happened. So nice fight by Vladi.
Good job, Vladi.
Good job, Vladi.
Wait, I think both junglers smite a champion, guys.
What? What was that smite?
Okay, so maybe Lyncas didn't smite the right target.
Let's leave it to the experts later.
Shockwave on the backline as Alistar trying to retreat here. Good realm warp in by Vitality as they look for what could be the final fight of the game. Cataclysm coming out. Lyncas the first to fall. Vladi's shield with the command protecting the killer instinct by upset as Empyros was tanking the entirety of the rest of Vitality. Nako and Carzzy could not get through him. And now Fnatic, 18 kills to 2 up, are looking at that Nexus, looking for their 4th win. And it's all on Nako and Carzzy to try and defend.
Fnatic confidently marching down here, taking good fight after good fight. I don't think there's anything Vitality can do here. Carzzy is being went on. Nako is being went on. He's trying to hold these towers, but it's a little bit too late. As I say that, Wukong goes in.
He's got the Guardian Angel though, and now with the Nexus towers down, it's much harder for Vitality to defend. Nako falling to the plasma from upset. A second follows suit as Carzzy goes down. And in a 20 kill to 2 banger, Fnatic take the win in sub 30 minutes.